Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working more on Super Saturday Hero Showtime, hopefully with 100% less me losing my voice halfway through. As you can kind of tell, the voice has recovered somewhat. It is better. It is perfect yet? No, but we're doing our best. I did do some work, because of course I did, because that's just how I operate. A couple things changed. Well, a lot of things changed, but we'll take it as we can see it. First thing that really changed was, let me see, can I find, let me see if I can find the, I guess I don't really talk about it down here. One of the larger ideas that changed was the concept of plot power. I was having some issues with plot power. Something about it wasn't really hitting it off for me as well. Congratulations to your voice and a well-met recovery. Thank you very much, Lotus. Yeah, we're still not 100% yet, but that's half the fun. Now you just get to hear a sexy Notepad add-on, as one might say, some more. So, yeah, gamers, we're gaming. Yeah. There we go. Let me just snap my my back into place. But one of the major changes we did was plot power went from a larger pool of resources that was reduced via die size and dies and things like that, went down to just a static number that will go down. So for example, I have, as a hero, I have 6 plot power. I have 6 plot power. I want to do an action, it goes down to 5 plot power. Certain actions will demand that I spend my plot power to do certain things. If I take damage and I have no more ouch, which was formerly oof. This oof is now another thing. What happens when you change like a single word. So your plot power can do a lot more things now, but it's a lot more restricted. It's effectively a meta currency, but it's a commodity based one. Ouch was formerly oof, but yeah, pretty much it. Let's see, when it starts less than total plot power. Yeah, okay, I did. Let's see. No, I put Starlevel, let's see. Well, out of focus. Nay. Very easy enough to understand. Effectively, just making it a little bit easier. Anytime you take damage, you can take ouch damage, which is a lot more immediate hits, and plot power, or you can take plot power damage. Plot power goes down to 0. You're oof, out of focus. If you are, if you've reached 0 ouch, you're vulnerable. Vulnerable, you have snag in all your actions until you can recover a bit. Effectively, being fully vulnerable means that you're not going to be doing things as well. On the other hand, being out of focus means you can't do as much, because instead of adding a bunch of dice to your dice pool, you could only add 1. And if you are vulnerable and oof, you are downed. You are you're kind of removed from the scene. Yeah, that's kind of the situation there. Obviously, the movie is a little bit easy enough to understand there. We changed some things around. You kind of see here, everyone's got a decent amount of ouch, but not too much. We talked about these last time, but I was kind of feeling under the weather a little bit more. There's adventure scenes. Adventure scenes are the you do things. Have you considered doing a case on either cozy RPGs or alternatively adult RPGs? We've technically done, I think, 2 cases on the Curious Case of Degeneracy. They are very fascinating in their own right. I do have another one that I've been wanting to do. I think I have 1 or 2. I've been meaning to do another one, but I'm waiting on a PDF. As for cozy RPGs, I've seen cozy RPGs, but the vast majority of the time what I end up seeing is like they're not really, there's nothing really to talk about with them. That's always the hard part. But so misadventures, very simple stuff. These are your basic checks for most things. Chaotic situations, a little bit more hectic. Things are going a little bit more wrong. These are your kind of more exciting bits, if that makes sense. Then we have action scenes. Action scenes are your combat scenes. Effectively, when an action scene begins, everyone's got a time slot. What's a time slot? It is your bravery plus your savvy's full value. So bravery plus D8 savvy equals you act on 14. However, if you choose to half your time slot, this is still a very janky mechanic, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but should work. You can choose to half your time slot and instead go for the get a second action. Everyone's descending in order. If I were to change this, I would do the frantic dedicated system again, but I like the idea of people even further reducing it down. I like that idea a little bit, so I'm like, okay, what's the best way of... How do I get to have my cake and eat it too? So this is kind of my very basic way of doing it. All of that's done in a block. And then we have the idea of a playset. A playset is effectively a map. In any other game is what they would be referred to as. This is a very basic example of one. Each area is assigned a die, except if they are a button room. So anytime you go into an area, if you are doing something there, you get a bonus to it. So, for example, in the central planning area, if we need to navigate the Galaxy Fortress X, we get a bonus D6 to any of our rolls. Oh, hey, the space hangar has a space cycle gizmo. That means there is an item in there that we can use to get a D10 on our roll. However, if we're in the officer's lounge, we may want to investigate something. We get a D4 to investigation if we do that here. And in the control room, there's a button. What does the button do? We click the button and it unlocks space. What does cinematic do? Cinematic is a D8 to literally all of our actions because we are currently fighting in space, and that's cool. But if we were to fight in the guard room for too long, I'm taking damage, you're taking damage, everyone's taking damage, and that's very painful for involved. Nobody wants to be on... Being in the guard room sucks because you are now losing a bunch of health, but hey, because you're in here now, we can throw people into things, and that's kind of the idea there. I did put in a very, very cut down version of Void. This is actually mostly drawn from Cruciform, the way that this is set up. With the idea being that you can roll them all on a paper and then you just connect them together, what is connected and what's not connected, and these determine what they actually are. So, for example, if you roll a 4 on a d6, you get a bonus to an action. For example, doesn't mean that much, but you can string together some random maps a lot. Then we do the actions, how actual actions combat works. A sneaky term of cartoon action hour because I'm very creatively bankrupt. Hey, Draco. So, with actions, With actions, you're going to be building rev points. Every normal action you do, you build rev. More rev points means more things you can do. More things you can do, the better for you. Now, the big idea is that the main actions are the one that you're going to be doing the most often. These are very basic and very reliable, if that makes sense. But the big one is skirmish here. Doesn't matter what kind of attack you're doing, you will always do 1d6 damage with the skirmish if you hit. Doesn't seem like that much. And that's kind of the point. You're always going to be skirmishing. What is a skirmish, though? Skirmishing can be melee, it can be mental attacks, it can be ranged attacks, it can be vocal attacks. It doesn't really matter what it is. All that matters is that you are doing it, and here is the save that you need against it. Specific, which type. No, we need that. So it's kind of the idea that characters for the first round or two are trying to do these main actions and then debating on doing super actions. Super actions cost rev. So if I want to dash, it's going to cost me 2. If I want to unguard, pretty much someone's going to attack me, I'm going to say ha 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 ha, unguard. That means I spend 3 rev, and if someone attacks me, I get to try to oppose roll to hit them. Hey, I get to add +6 to all my saves. I get to recover some ouch immediately. Or then you get to do the big one for 4 whole rev, which is a full attack. Full attacks let you do a lot more. So, full attacks, for example, let you do one of these 3 things. You can damage someone, which you take the value, your gimmick, your power, or assistance die in damage. That's how much damage they would take. So if you roll a d6, a d10, and a d12, and I'm going to roll these all together. Got my dice here, of course, so roll these all together. I rolled a 5, a 4, and I got a 12. So I can take that 12 and say, I'm going to do 12 damage to you, which is a lot more than 1d6. So it kind of matters what you're working with, especially if you're working with bigger gear that has something like a d20 or a d12 or something like that. You do a lot more damage, a lot more reliably. Alternatively, you can do a power hit, which forces them to lose plot power, which could possibly put them into oof, meaning that they aren't going to be doing much damage anymore. You see kind of the dynamic here. You want to attack their plot power just as much as attacking their ouch. The other option is always to break something, which is you make something they have dull. Doesn't really think that's valuable until you realize, oh hey, they've got a really powerful piece of equipment they keep getting back and are able to use, or a power or something that they're always using because it's super valuable and they get it back a lot. So because of this situation, I'm going to make it dull, so now we can rush and save everything. That's kind of the idea there. This is the very basic combat situation. Like, yeah, you're just fighting people, and it's I see your Light Star. Light Star is now oof. He can only add 1 of his die, but Zordak is completely vulnerable. He's rolling disadvantage. Both of them have a pretty hefty disadvantage on what's going on. Both of them are now kind of in a bad spot, and both of them now kind of need to think ahead. Now, I did also add in some more rev point usages. So if people want to use rev points in different ways, they have the option to right here. One of the bigger ways to use them is to trigger the type of energy you're shooting out, such as red, white, or blue, because God bless America. And this game has gone on longer than I would have expected, since the premise is kind of simple. That's kind of the problem, honestly. The premise is so simple and so generic that it gets a little bit more complicated to work with in some regards. Because anytime you're working with like a generic game, you are not working necessarily with a generic... whenever you're making a generic game, you cannot anticipate anything in particular, and you have to, every decision has to be cross-referenced with, does this apply to the vast majority of circumstances in this particular situation? Does this apply to a vast majority of circumstances? You don't make many generic games, which is funny part. It is on point with the Sprug name. Yeah, I don't. I used to make a lot more, but I kind of drifted away from all of those, and a lot of them ended up getting converted into something a little bit more specific, just because it's easier to work with. To be honest, there's a lot. You can be a lot more creative with a limited scope. Got a question regarding the game jam with changing West End Games D6 to have 2 stats being combined to make a skill go against roll 2. I mean, as long as the basic premise still remains, that's fine. One of those things of put a side note in it being like, hey, this is slightly different from West End Games normal D6 system. However, this is goes to because I am a unique and individual in person who has authority over their destiny. Yeah, and this game has also gone on longer as well, Draco, because I got fucking sick last week. I think your SRDs are better than the generic games, because SRDs are nice to look into your design decisions. Avoid of their little... The thing with like the SRDs is like a lot of the time it's you have something to base it off of, and then it's like how do you surgically remove sections? It's far easier to remove than to add. That is always the thing I will remind everyone. It is far easier to remove something than to add anything. Because it's like, okay, I need to remove this mechanic. Okay, you can try, there's a lot more you can think about removing that surgically than it's just like, okay, I need to add something more to this generic thing. That's always a pain in the ass. Very little implicit lore. I try not to go like heavy on lore. Depends on the game, really. Like something like Fist of Chaos actually had a lot of lore to it because I got really inspired. Thanks Xenoclash, you gave me the thought. Give me the thunk. Let's see. Okay, so luckily, actually, fun fact though, you say like, oh, and this has gone on a while, and the answer is yeah, it has. On the other hand, what really needs to be done at this point is we need to know how to do enemies, which I do know how to do them, and some very series specific. It's a lot of the further things that need to be done are just trying to work it in there a little bit more. So that's kind of that's the situation there, everyone. Have no fear. Just need to get more work done. This is Monster of the Week. Very simple stuff. I know how to do this. Like, effectively, the idea is that there's going to be 3 tiers of enemies. Actually, I should probably put 4 tiers. Well, we could do about 4 tiers of enemies. You have your Skeletors. I mean, your main bad guy. Your main bad guy is going to be absurdly strong, but that's not really the point. You're not supposed to defeat him, really. Because he's always going to come back next week with his next devious. That's always going to happen. Megatron just runs away halfway at the end of the episode because Megatron's awesome plan failed. You got your henchmen. Henchmen are about where you are, roughly speaking. They're, on par with you, but evil. Then you got your brutes. Kind of like your brutes are like up-jumped minions. Like they're minions with a gimmick. And then you have your minions. The minions being literally cannon fodder. They're putties. Fucking everyone loves putties. Yeah, the fucking putty patrollers. Like, why do people like, the putties, and why do we like, effectively, disposable cannon fodder minions? Because disposable cannon fodder minions are something you can always use to fill out a fight. And there was something very amusing about just being able to just beat up a bunch of random nobodies because it's putties. See, fun fact. I can never look at Mighty Morphin Power. There's a lot of this, by the way. What the fuck is going on? I can never look at Kimberly Hart ever again, by the way, in the same light. Because, I told people about the Power Rangers campaign story? Have I ever heard, told anybody the Power Rangers campaign? All right, I'll do my best here. So, this is about three years ago. We were playing in a OSR game called Flying Swordsman. It's a wuxia game. My friend was GMing it. And we were going through the city of Zoramdag. Foiling plots, doing our best. I was effectively a kung fu cop. And one of our main villains was, no, she wasn't even a villain. She was just this, like, ominous force that we always had to deal with. Was this, kind of this patriarchal, a matriarchal, I guess you would call her, priestess. And her name was Priestess Hart. Priestess Hart was a cunt. A terrible human being. And throughout this entire campaign, we're doing things are going wrong. And there comes a moment, we are literally in a cistern, effectively, at the bottom of the city, of this ancient old city. And beneath we are literally walking down a mountain of corpses. Because the upper echelons of the city have been sacrificing people of the city for generations to protect it, to keep it safe. Mountains of skulls and just horrible things going on. You deny the cycle of Samsara, nobody reincarnates in Zoramdag. Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucking weird. So we went down here and we're going through, and it was there was effectively always this character that in the background named Zor. Zor of Zoramdag was this mystical individual that no one really knew about. And as we were going there, we finally confront, Priestess Hart. This is not the final boss, by the way. That's the worst part. She's not the final boss. We confront her, and we fight her, we defeat her, and we were like, haha, we did it. We've discovered Zor, Zor of Dawn. And at the end, we're sitting around and we're joking, and the GM's asking, we're talking and stuff, being like, man, wouldn't it be funny if it was a big Power Rangers reference, like, oh, get it? It's Kimberly Hart. And when I said, oh wait, it's Kimberly Hart, it took me a minute to realize that the entire campaign, every single character, every single encounter, even the fucking city was a goddamn Power Rangers reference. All of it was. Yeah. There was the White Ranger that we kept trying to find. Hey, I was part of the Rangers who was part of the city guard. Oh, hey, there's multicolored characters. Oh, hey, you're trying to cultivate to do this stuff. Oh, hey, it's Zordon. Oh, hey! It's all the animal sigils, and the only reason we didn't catch on to it earlier is because you added his own little animal sigil. Now, that's the district of the city we hung out in. It was a massive fucking Power Rangers reference, and all of us sat there in disbelief as he was cracking up, dying, because we started putting more and more pieces together. And every piece we put together, we realized it was another fucking Power Rangers reference, even down to the fact that a character that we had been somewhat pursuing this entire time as kind of a side thing was Rita fucking Repulsa. I'm not even mad. I was not even mad. Players confused by legally distinct Power Ranger logo. That was the worst part. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It was a fucking name that we put together, like trying to come up with like an answer to a question that he posed. And I was like, I fucking hate you. The fact that the entire campaign boiled back down to a fucking Power Rangers reference. And then the final super boss, the final thing that we needed to fight, was also a giant fucking Power Rangers reference. I was so mad. So anytime I see anytime I see Kimberly Hart here, I am just immediately reminded of that campaign, for better or for worse. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Pursuing their. Let's see. Stars aren't the only ones pursuing their goals. They will. Antagonists, monsters, and destroy them and everything they hold dear. Let's see. Aren't the only ones pursuing their goals. Taking it. The monsters of the week. Monsters of the week can be literal monsters. It can be a new monster that appears every week can be a reoccurring. It can be a reoccurring antagonist too. Even every enemy. Actually, antagonist. Let's see. Antagonists are divided into four easy categories. Minions, brutes, henchmen, villain. Minions are the rank and file cannon fodder. Let's see. Minions are the rank and file cannon fodder of the. They throw themselves at the forces of good with with little chance of actually victorious. But with actually emerging let's see, chance of actually emerging victorious. Brutes are up jumped minions. Let's see, brutes are up jump minions that than the usual one. Henchmen are trained and able. Henchmen are trained and able subordinates of the. They are on par. Let's see. Henchmen are trained and able subordinates of the villain. They are with the stars and may even be as popular as them due to their dastardly nature. Each henchman. The villain, the big bad, the evil force of the evil force of malevolence. Oh God. There's the villain, the big bad, the evil force of malevolent. Let's see. Finally, there's the villain, the big bad, the evil force of malevolent hate, the strangely popular idol among those MBN does not associate. The villain is stronger than the stars, but has the critical weakness. Due to bumbling henchmen, or ego getting, or their own ego getting. Oh, you bumbling fools! What are you doing? Pursuing destruction. Go. This one designing let's when creating a what their goals and what their important to understand. Let's creating an antagonist. Creating just as detailed as, or they can be just as detailed as the stars themselves. Creating it just as detailed as stars themselves. So we need to go with this. How do I learn this? Okay, so do as each minion. Let's see. Minions are the easiest type of antagonist to create, as each minion is a name and a let's see, is a let's say as each minion has a title, has a title and little else. Each minion, a minion. Let's see. A minion will stand on a point and not move. A minion will stand on a point and not move. However, with every not move, but anytime they are attacked by any action, they are immediately destroyed. They are immediately defeated. If there are any minions left standing in a point where the stars are at the end of the block, each star in the point on the point take 1 ouch damage. Take 1 damage. Each star per takes 1 damage per minion. Are there any minions? Each star per minion. They are not threats. Far from it, in fact. Brutes are act similarly. Let's see, similarly to minions, but they act similarly to minions. Then they do not move, as they do not move. Taken out if they are hit with attack. If they are hit by any attack. Well, have a defend. Let's. Actually, no. Two first, so 1 to head 2, so you hit you. They are not threats. Far from it. All right, so brutes are more complex and durable in let's see, are more complex and durable in comparison. Brutes do not move. Brutes do not move as well. But instead they will have a defense rating. They will have a defense of 10. Meaning that the stars will need to beat 10. But instead they will have but they have a defense of 10. Meaning stars will need to beat 10 to actually hit them. To hit them and defeat them. Apologies for the great noise there. I had to turn my mic off. Yeah, no, it's I'm still coughing, by the way. Not as much. I don't think any of you want to hear my I think you all are already appreciating my dulcet tone. Let's see, meaning that the stars will need to be 10 to actually hit the end. How long have you been sick? I got sick on Wednesday. That's when I was probably at my worst. Actually, no. Wednesday is when I was like, I am sick. Thursday, I was in and out. Friday, I was feeling better. Saturday, I'm feeling better. Sunday, I felt pretty good yesterday. Today, I'm feeling okay because my mom got sick as well. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm doing great. My life is falling apart is what I'm trying to imply here. That's the fun part, right? Let's see, each brew. Mm, mm. Oh no, it's been 7. Hasn't really been that long anyway. In addition to being hardier, they will each brute will deal 2 damage to the mm, mm. Let's see, each star will do let's see, we'll deal 2 damage to the stars in the same point of them. But the main advantage of brutes are their access to a special brute, to a special brute ability. The brute ability augments the nature of the brutes and allows them to perform more to perform allow them to perform. We put here, we put here, we put here, we put here. We're going that, start here, that, and then we do brute ability description. So we're going to just write in things now. First things first, flying. Yep, we like flying abilities. Kalam, Shala, Kalam. So we got flying. Flying is a useful one. They have a ranged attack. They are armored up. That means flying up. I'm just gonna really only hit with range. Attack with range 1, armored up, defense 2. Let's see, what would be some other what are some other things that we could give brutes? +1 damage, so they got big weapons. Let's think. What would be some other cool abilities to give brutes? To effectively your big minions. Let's see. Flying range. Big. Like a lot of the ones like you see like Cobra Trooper. These aren't minions. Cobra Troopers go down in 1 hit. They get punched 1. It'd be like we need to fight like a Cobra Command. Okay, maybe not that one. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe Cobra. Like, good old fucking Cobra Command. That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, brutes are a bit bigger and more impressive. Actually, we can actually do let's see. Flying, your range attacks, you're armored up, you got a big weapon, you got a special power, you can block people from moving around, assassin, actually no, quick, so you can, so they actually can move. So they can actually move at the start of the block. Normally they can. Because one of the ideas, what I want to have happen is that henchmen and villains, whenever they move, they can bring brutes and minions with them. That's kind of the idea. Like, they're moving around the map. They're kind of building this horde up. So, the GM kind of places these guys a little bit of everywhere. You're like, oh, well, we want to defend this little area, so they're going to put some Cobra soldiers there as we, or the good guys. Or trying to think of what would be some other. I guess it would be like, what would you call it? It would be like a sergeant almost, like all the other minions do better because you're there. What would you call that? It's like sergeant. That makes sense. Like, I'm trying to think of like effectively a minion who is supposed to be like better at leading the other minions around them. So it's like, okay, well, we want to attack this guy because we need to take him out now. Because he's going to be a problem. Yeah, I think that could. Ah! Woohoo! Ow. Ugh. There we go. Let's see. We get like one more in. What would be a good ability? Oh, that's good. I like that. So we've got that. Let's think. I'm curious. Huh. Weird. Something that adds extra health. Yeah, that, like. Oh, I guess we can do big guts plus, so they can take an additional damage. You got big guts. See, the thing is, when it comes to, actually, I guess we could do something like that. That should be easy enough. I think that's a good amount, and then we could put a showrunner note down there saying like, yeah, these aren't everything, but you know, I am a human being and I can't write down for every single possible show in existence that might come up. So, yeah, plus fans, assassin is dead. The brute. The brute is deadly. They deal 6 damage. They deal 6 damage to 1 star at the end. Lock instead. They deal lock big guts absolutely huge brute. This brute must take 2 hits. 2 hits before they are defeated. Round. Eat it. Brute is flying around the battlefield. They cannot be hit except with ranged. They cannot be hit with anything with. They cannot be hit except with a ranged, vocal, or mental attack. Reach them. Marshall +1. The brute is leading their disposable brothers in arms. All minions on the point gain +1 damage. But the brute is fast on their feet. They may move to an adjacent they may move to an adjacent point at the the brute. They may attack any star from a deal damage to all adjacent star to all star and capitalizing adjacent this millions and is all but immune to 1 type of attack. There we go. Notepad, do you think this year after season shopping will actually be a thing or not? Be online or not? Probably. Don't really see any reason for it not to be. I haven't seen anything too exciting in that regard. Guarantee some people are gonna get most likely there'll be some big sales going on. Ooh, uh-oh. Okay, no. Uh-oh. Yeah, oh. Let me stable. There we go. Here we go. Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. Let's do so. Let's see. There are more than the possible variations. Roots will be some kind of special ability, that sets them apart from their disposable peers. However, the important thing to note is that minions and brutes are not important to the overall adventure or anything actually going on. They are roadblocks and annoyances. Roadblocks and annoyances for the stars to blow through. However, when a dozen minions are standing between them and the button to free their friends, they become in different ways. A lot more dangerous and different. Go disposable. There we go. Roots. Go. All right. So. Ooh. Oh my. Oh me. Oh my. My oh me. So. Who's paying? Why are people paying me? Oh, Ira. Salutations. Something interesting that you thought about buying on Steam for the Steam sales? Ugh, God, what do I even have on my Steam wish list? I actually cleared out my wish list not too long ago. My friend did the evil thing, and I mean truly despicable thing of buying me Balatro. And I have been playing a lot of Balatro. I'm not gonna lie, I get it. I get it now. I understand the Balatro experience Requiem. I wasn't quite, at first I was like, oh man, this is kind of a silly little poker game. But then I started playing it, and then I realized that the needle was in my arm. And when I'm like, okay, I'm going to go start working on things. And I say, I think I could get a Balatro run in. I think I could get a Balatro run in. I mean, just a quick one. Just a quick one. Just a quick one. Again, it was that moment I realized, again, the needle was firmly in my arm. I live for the ding noise when I get the Joker. I live for that. It is truly an intoxicating truly an intoxicating feeling when the funny numbers go up and you're like, ah, yes, I feel like a fucking god. I feel like a man thought he was having harmless fun. He didn't realize he was taking hard drugs at the same time. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, there's a couple games there. See, during the last big sale, I actually picked up We Who Are About to Die, which I've ooh, right there. Ooh, right there. Oh yeah. I actually quite like We Who Are About to Die. Uh I think that's a very interesting game. Uh Really, like, I get what some people are saying now, being like, the game is ruined now because of the trait system. I like the trait system. Uh yeah, I like I think the trait system yeah, it's yeah, no, I quite enjoy the game. I think it is very fun. But there's a couple games I've been like looking at. I'm like, all right, let's see what's popping up here. Yeah, nothing's really like, oh boy, this is it. Like this is the game that I'm looking forward to. Nothing really is coming to mind. I'm very happy with what I have. Otherwise known as the rampant amount of methamphetamines I've been getting fed. It's it's yeah, no, it's having literal liquid crack handed to you. It's like this is allowed. Balatro, you're allowed in good company. I understand why the Dow dropped when you went mobile. I get it now. I understand. And I find that very funny. I find that very amusing in its own way. Why are you broke? Okay, so we need to do hello phone henchman. The dark of the night. Let's see. So henchmen are so the idea of henchmen. Let's see. Henchmen. Let's see. The henchmen are the backbone of the villain's forces. They're ever loyal. They're ever loyal. They're ever loyal, empowered. Jurors who act as and they're malicious, malicious. An organization they probably part of. They could be foot soldiers. Let's see. Each henchman is built like, let's see, each henchman is built like a star. I don't know what. Funger. Oh my funger. I ended up doing. Yeah, because you had like an entirely different. You literally had death as your. It's like that was the funny thing. You death. But we need to change this up slightly. So it's kind of like each henchman is built like a star. But instead of but they do not have. But without some of the restrictions that come with it. First off, henchmen do not. Henchmen have a modified set of values and modified set of values to represent their nature. Ever loyal. They're loyal, empowered soldiers who act on behalf of their men. You should first off modify value. So values here because I think like sinisterness. The act of being sinister. Yeah, what's your stat? You don't understand. I'm just min-maxing my sinister skill. Sometimes, you know what you gotta do sometimes, right? Gotta min-max that sinister skill. Select you. Cracked with plastic one, but he can't escape the digital version. Did you hear about the chicanery about the Funko Pops for a couple days off the internet? Because they were using faulty companies, they were using faulty fake AI bots. I know about that. It's yeah, itch.io got taken off the internet for a time because fucking Funko Pop, which the fact that Funko Pop is trying to kill itch.io, frankly based. Like, that's my comment on the matter. Good job, Funko Pop. You're doing something right. Trying to kill itch.io. A Notepad. Itch.io is a proud place full of unique individuals who want to spread the love. Yeah, it sucks for TRPGs though. Modified set of values to represent their nature. They will then each henchman. Let's see. Each of the henchmen will then select one of their own sticks to represent them. Each henchman. Each henchman will then select one of the. Well, let's see. Chick to represent them and their basic set of abilities. They have access. Similar. They will be. Mm. Mm. And let's see. Distribute. Four between all of their saves. Stick and the sticks. We're going to do 1, 2. We technically need 8, so it would be name. Then it's bruises, gumption. Bruises, gumption. Oh, bruises, fluke. Gumption, heart. You. 8. But if this 3 something, this select you, we select, and can we select 9, 5, perfect. So swing down here. So we want to be what would be some very classic henchman-like qualities? Actually, I guess we could. God, what would be some... Let's think. What would be some good ways to summarize henchmen? Heart's kind of your the idea of heart is that it's your willpower. Like, yeah, you've got heart. It literally is your heart in the game. It's the difference between for Cobra and for a paycheck. Like, itch.io is annoying for TRPGs in a variety of ways, and it just doesn't really support TRPGs at all. So I'm like, yeah, this is like, yeah, I get annoyed with itch.io quite a bit. And it doesn't help that a lot of people at itch.io are very annoying. I don't really use it for anything else, so. That's kind of the idea. I Actually, let's look at what in doubt, G.I. Joe Cobra. So we've got Cobra Commander. Yes, how could we forget Serpentor? Let's see, Destro. Oh God, what would we do? Actually, we want to do. Yeah, so we got super soldiers. Scientist. Let's try to get like. I'm getting pinged. Why are people pinging me? The Dexter and Sinister means being on the right and left respectively. What? Dexter and Sinister. Can't type into them head. Dexter and Sinister mean the right. Effectively, so Sinistery. Sinistery makes sense. Sinistery. Sinistery is not a word. Sinisterness. It is an actual word, or being left-handed. Sinister. Being sinistery. Going to put that in there because it's just such a stupid word. It's a dumb word, and I love it because it's a dumb word. Sinister. God, why is that such a terrible word? Mr. Adroitness. I know, I should be the one. Yeah, I should upload more games on DTRPG. The problem is with a lot of DTRPG stuff is that they really crack down on AI stuff. And I'm not too... I still don't use a lot of that. Let's think. We've got a Zartan Storm Shadow. Let's see. Actually, no. Let's okay, so we got an evil scientist. The heart. Look at charlatan. So you be a person who is a charlatan. That's super soldier. The lone wolf. Ah, God, what would you call the how do you word Storm Shadow? Let's see. Like, how do you... Let's think. I mean, how do you word Storm Shadow? Like, how do you word him? Like, I'm the, like, overly cool... It's effectively the... You are the, like, overly like lone wolf badass, like I'm fuck you. I guess shadow assassin is also shadow assassin sounds sounds appropriately edgy. We could use that for super soldier. Bumbling moron. We always need the bumbling moron. Lunatic. Lunatic. Like it's the. What are you, the lunatic? Let's see, Dr. Mindbender, the Baroness. Let's see, Sergeant Slaughter. Let's see, we want to do. Let's get Transformers, Decepticons. Show me the Decepticons. Okay, maybe not these ones. Okay, tell me about the Decepticons. I wish to know more about the Decepticons. Okay, we'll use the TF wiki. That's a lot of them. Tell me which ones are the fucking Decepticons. Okay, who are like let's try to find. Okay, I just fucking tell me who. List. Give me a list of Decepticons. It's all the Neo Encyclopedia. God, that's a lot of Decepticons. Alright. Terrorcons. Cutthroat. Six Shot. Oh, Jesus. I always forget. That way it's not Metatron. What am I fucking Megatron? Megatron. Battle Station M1. Also released the GoBot. Okay, so we've got. Okay, so how would you word? Loose cannon would do well. Loose cannon, I like. Loose cannon, bumbling moron, Looney the bomber, the fanatic, the berserker, big lad, small nutter, headbanger. Let's see. It would be So let's see. I think these. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 should do. I think that works pretty well. So now we have to do down here, which are more of their natures. We pin you. We hit you. Pin you. So the bumbling moron. So generally speaking, they all share the exact same. So actually, if we're doing the bumbling moron, we go to the sidekick. Said we go to the sidekick notepad. Please do what I want you to do. Sidekick, 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 sidekick. If I could fucking know how to spell sidekick anymore. Got 3, so 1, 2, 3. We need to give them 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5. Let's see. So, hatred, bumbling moron, D0, malice. Malice, D6, D6, D4. Actually, 6, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Evil scientist. Evil scientist is of course going to be a fucking sinister as all hell. That is kind of his. That's kind of his gimmick, you could say. Yeah, that's kind of his thing, you could say. So let's do D6, D6. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the rogue monsters, I got a D0 there. We can do 6. So 1, 2, 3. So that. He would have malice, have low trickery. He's not very tricky, but that's the entire idea. Shadow assassin. D4, 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 D4. So he's got 4, and then he bump up his. Not his malice. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. Oh, super soldier, super soldier. Oh, probably bump everyone. 1. Need to. So if we hit this, so the wicked charlatan's going to have a D8, D6, 0, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get +2 to kind of work with, so they can increase any of these up by a little bit, not too much. We're going to give them 7 here. So 7 here. We need things. These are actually we. Let's see. Loser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's think. What would be the final one of your tragic backstory? You're haunted. You're an actual psychopath. You're genuinely evil. Like you're just a horrible human being, and everyone knows you're a horrible human being. You are just a force of nature. You're tragic. You're just a loser. No one likes you because everyone just hates you. Let's think. What would be? Let's. There we go. You can just do con man. Just like that's just what you are. You get 4. Actually, let me check. Yeah, you get 4. That would. So if we apply our very basic 10, 10, 10, 10. So if we just apply our very basic 10s across the board, you are not very good at fighting. You are, however, very good at finding things. You are not very... You do not give a shit about the cause, because that's not your fucking problem. Heart is very low. Actually, no, you have very low gumption. You've got decent heart, decent fluke. No, yeah, this is Viable. Haunted. Haunted, haunted, haunted. Let's do... There we go. So that brings it down a little bit lower. Loser. Loser being our kind of our default 10 across the board. Malevolent force, a malevolent force of nature. How do we stat that? So if we do 12, 9, 12. Actually, we can even make you the idea like, yeah, a malevolent force of nature. You literally are an unbreakable, uncaring psychopath. Psychopath. Actually, no. Let's do psychopath there. You have 14. You have there, so you have gumption and you've got fluke. We reduce bruises down to 4. So that means you have 16 fluke, 16 gumption, because you want to... The loser's not going to get... You can beat up a loser pretty fast along with his... But he's going to be able to get around things a lot easier by pure luck, or he's gumption. Solve crises. Psychopath is our default. Tragic villains. 14... let's do 8, so that means we bring you down to 8, so that's 16. Again, there. Actually, we do 8, bring you up to 10, so that's 16. So, I want to make Lord Zordax, helpful at, despicable. No, actually, no, vile henchman. Gordak the spoiler, because he's a dick. But we know that he is in fact a super soldier. And I think he's a genuinely evil super soldier. He's just a terrible person. So as a super soldier, his hatred is actually D8 hatred, D4 malice, D0 fucking sinisterity. And D4 trickery, so he gets to increase these up. So of course he's going to increase one up like that, and one like... I'll get you next time. And since he is genuinely evil, he has 10 bruises, 12 fluke, 6 gumption, and 12 heart, and he's putting it all into bruises, so he's a little bit harder to hit. There we go. This is Gordak the Despoiler. He's a dick. Pick to represent their ability. Their values by 1 step each. In. Let's see. So next. Okay, so we know how Gordak the Despoiler looks. That sounds about right. So that means... let's next sheet to the henchman will have a set of powers Set of power of gear and gear. Wolf. We'll have a set of gimmicks, gear, and powers. In total, each of the let me see if I can do my math. Let me see if my math. Saturday Showtimes. Nah, that's the wrong. Super Saturday Hero Showtime. So that brings us to sheet 2. So yeah, total of 20 points. Everyone is equal here. But you have 20 points. X-Con. Okay, so you got 20. You got your 20 points, distributing them up to a maximum of D12. You got 20 points distributed up to a maximum of maximum. Well, so we that going to do. Where are you? There and okay. Let's distribute it among them to 20 points to distribute among any of them. So let's bring up Gordak to Gordak the spoiler. So he's got 20 points to spend. So what is Gordak good at? Gordak is good at harming people. He's got a D10 in that. Paying 4 there. That's a gimmick. That's a gimmick for him. He's got the gimmick of enslaving a D8 because he is a genuine asshole in that regard, because that's the entire point, you could say. He's got his he's got his a piece of gear, his despoiler gun, which is of course a D12 because again he is a gigantic asshole and that is his entire gimmick. 7 12, so we've got 8 points left. God, what would be well, all right, everybody, we're going to be making Gordak the spoiler a complete fucking asshole. What should his super cool power be if we're fighting with we as Prince Lightstar and company, Knights of the Round Galaxy, are confronting Gordak the Despoiler on this episode of Knights of the Round Galaxy? What is Gordak's gimmick? What does he have that he can do to fuck our day up? Team, oh no, Gordak is doing what? What is Gordak doing? Why is he being an asshole today? Damn, how why is his karma not very high? He can, let's just think of something right off the bat. Ability to taint anything he touches until it's corrupt that he can control. There we go. That's a horrible, awful power. There we go. Mind bending. There we go. Mind bending's a good one. Let's see. So that's 7, 12, 16. We've got 4 more points remaining. So how do we want to do? Oh, actually, no, we can do power corruption. We've got, well, we can put that as a DA. We can put that as a nice 3. Oh, yeah, we got one more. We got a D4. What do we want to do with that D4? Do we want to give him a new piece of gear? Do we want to give him a new gimmick, which is a skill? Do we want to give him a new power? What do we want to do with him? You see the beautiful thing. Discourage. No, there we go. We got a good gimmick now. See, we got a good gimmick there. We can do gimmick, discouraging, D4, 1. There we go. See how easy it is to make Gordak the Despoiler a complete jackass of a human being who just keeps ruining everything for everyone? I too love Gordak the Despoiler, the worst human being alive. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that right there, and we're going to grab Knights of the Round Table. Actually, no, we can grab Prince Lightstar. He's got the power. So, this is Prince Lightstar. Lightstar is infinitely cool, and that's the entire point of being Prince Lightstar. Because, let's see, Gordak the Despoiler. Gordak the Despoiler. Let's see. So we've got Gordak, so he's genuinely evil. We know that this is Gordak the Despoiler, a genuinely evil super soldier. We don't need to worry about collectibles. We don't need to worry about that. That is not something they get. That's the beautiful thing. They don't get any of that because they suck. You aren't the protagonist here. Like, protagonists are going to be, like, pretty consistently stronger than enemies, and I'm okay with that. And I'm very specifically okay with that, because that's the entire point of the thing. Like, the fact is not that you are stronger than other people, it is the fact that you have to do something more with it. Let's see, so you've got these gimmicks. And you've got the... Don't need to worry about any of these because we have any of them. You don't have these. This is legitimately all that villains have. Now, your ouch is technically... Ouch is... We go down total ouch, which is bravery. So, after the... It's almost, let's see, it's almost finished. All they need to do is determine their total ouch. Determine their total ouch. Determine their total ouch. So total ouch is, since bravery was got turned into, so bravery is hatred. So it's literally just going to be hatred, not even savvy because you don't even get that. It is hatred plus antics or friendship, so it's going to be hatred plus... Yep. Hatred plus malice. That is your... That is how you determine your health as a villain. What is your hatred plus your malice score? 24. You may be evil, but are you truly evil maxing? That's all that you really need. Don't be lame. Like, you're not going to be lame, right? And not evil max. Technically, we don't need. Gord acted a spoiler. What a dick. Don't have is plot power. And let's see, one of the most important things that henchmen don't have is plot power. Without plot power, reaches 0. They are down. They are down, and this doesn't mean they are permanent. Let's see. This doesn't mean they are permanently oof. It doesn't mean they are permanently oof either. But being facts, there we go. In some respects, you put you aside. I guess we can actually grab you, put you in some respects. There we go. Actually, real fast. If a villain, if the Well, let's see. They may choose take any number of minions and roots with them. Go. Put that there. We put you there. Ooh, we've got you, and then what we do for villains. Total ouch. Yep, total ouch. Prince Lightsaber. Yeah, Prince Lightsaber. Or Prince Lightstar. Prince. Notepad, because you almost used me screaming ding dong, and I come to my senses, settled for Mortal Kombat being played on the electrical organ. E1M, my alarm. Total ouch. Yep, that is your total ouch. Is 10 plus hatred plus malice. So villains are the villains are the ultimate threat for the stars. The let's see. Villains are the ultimate threat for the stars, living force that haunts them no matter what they do, and between all of their adventures makes them question if they can ever possibly win. A villain is more. A villain is. Let's see. But let's see. A villain is built similarly to a henchman, but instead, but there are a few key differences. The first is that they the first is that they may improve their values by 5 steps. Let's see. First is that they may improve their values by 5 steps up to 20. By 5 steps. Two of their increase. Actually, no. The first is that they may improve any of their values with 5 steps up to a D20. Unparalleled. Throughout the adventure. This also goes for their saves, which have a tend to distribute into up to a maximum 30 in it. Up to a maximum of 30 in it. Pretty much very heroic, which is almost impossible for them to fail certain things. Okay, so we've got all of that. For their powers, they always have let's see, they have they have 40 points to spend. They have 40 points to spend, but they will always have a D20 piece of gear or power, which is their signature. The signature. Gear/power is a symbol of their authority. A symbol of their authority and a symbol of their authority and actually no. Signature villainous of gear/power of the villain. Like, to give you an idea, like, Cobra Commander does not have a special gun or anything like that. Cobra Commander has a power in which he says, hey, I can get people to unquestioningly follow me. That is his power. Anytime he does anything, he wants to order people to do things. He says, okay, I'm going to add a D-fucking-20 to it. Because that is what he does. Anytime Cobra Commander wants to fuck with you, he gets to roll an additional D20 on it. Because that's what Cobra Commander does. Anytime Megatron wants to do something, he can turn into a D20 battle tank. Why? Because he's a fucking tank. He is a Decepticon. That is his thing. Why? Because Megatron is a mega ass. He is a bad person who does bad things for bad reasons. So we've got all of this, so they have bigger numbers, effectively. Much bigger numbers. But that's okay, because there's not really much else in this game. I have our numbers. Yeah, let's see. Signature villain is your power as a symbol of their authority. Let's see. The villain may recharge all of their gear power. Their plans are, let's see, whenever one of their plans are successful, whenever one of their plans are successful, thwarted, or whenever the stars show up to directly confront them. Effectively, anytime you are disrupting the villain and his nefarious plans, he's getting all his shit back. He's constantly throwing this at you. That is the entire point, is what he wants to do, is he wants to throw shit at you and make your life worse. No, without it. Each villain, all villains begin the episode with. Let's see. All villains begin the episode with 7 plot power, allowing them to spend it freely on their own. Spend it freely as if they always have, as if they always have it. Allowing them to spend it freely. Whenever a villain. Whatever villain. That's the one I changed it. All villains begin with some plot power, allowing them to with plot power. Can become oof. Does mean that villains can become oof. And lose some of their potency. Go. Drew match here. So we want total ouch, which 20 plus hatred plus malice. Villains 7 plot power, 40 defense powers. They got 40 powers, 40 defense. Okay, so we do 20 plus that. So we need. We'll do later because that should do for villains. Because villains really aren't that much. They're more complicated than henchmen, but henchmen don't have to worry about plot power. But that effectively means because you do not have plot power, you just take damage from everything, which is a lot more painful in some regard. That's fine. I could probably give villains, like, what do villains? Villains feel like they should get something else. I wish. That's only to be successfully. Let's see. Can still be defeated in combat, though. Instead of anything lasting, they usually utter some solemn curse and dude. Talking about this, so they're going to be creating their own version of that, which we already technically. We have the example character for this already, which is Lord Zordak. Which all right. All very specific. Okay. All right. We are at the home stretch here. Here's what I'm going to do. My throat's giving out, and I feel in pain. So I'm going to call it here, though. Thank you all for watching. On Wednesday, we will finish this. Wednesday, we are going to throw ourselves at this, and we will finish it. That is the goal. That is the plan. That is how we're going to do things. I will fix up everything that needs to be fixed up. I will send it over to the commissioner, be like, yeah, right now we just need to do some of the very basic transformation stuff. See what he says about it. If everything goes well, cool. Tomorrow we're doing tomorrow I'll be making a video on, we're going to be talking about Bushido, actually. With Bushido being, we're going to do Bushido, but it's not going to be released on Wednesday. That's the thing. It's going to be it's part of the backlog. I meant to do another backlog video last Thursday, but I was so fucking out of it. Once the Bushido video is done, we will start up on Yik. I genuinely do not know how long the, I don't know what New Game Plus is. This is important to know. I do not know. New Game Plus may be about an hour and a half of cutscenes and nothing else happens. It may be a literal, actual, like, we have to go through the game again to get a special ending or whatever. What will most likely happen because if we go through it and if we start back in Frankton, we're going to play a little bit of speedrun tech, which is to say we're going to be ignoring 95% of the game and we're going to be sprinting through it. And I'm going to see how far we can get by literally dead sprinting through all our problems. Because I literally do not know what it's going to be about, I'm making no promises of what tomorrow will entail. So thank you all for watching as always. I will see you all another time. Godspeed. Good luck. Have a wonderful rest of your day.